Hyland Intelligent Document Processing leverages AI to extract data from documents, bringing structure to formerly unstructured content. We'll begin as a solution builder in our studio modeling interface. So for those that are new, welcome. This is a tour of the behind the scenes configuration. Let's begin by creating a new project. In our demo today, we'll create that of a mailroom. All different types of content coming into a central location that we want to classify, separate, and extract value from. We could browse to some sample documents as we begin our configuration and notice that we have some connectors coming soon. But at this stage, I'll skip the file upload for now and jump right in to my document or content classification configuration. And I start at the top by creating a class. And all I have to do is enter the name of the type of document I'd like to classify, and my classification configuration is complete. Let's just do one or two more. And on this very last one, my loan application, I'm going to select to detect the checkboxes and radio buttons because this particular document has a few OMR markings. And now if you notice on the left-hand side, I have my 5 document classes created. I didn't have to configure a template or tell the document or tell the tool what the document might look like. I didn't have to give any indicators. Just the name of the document is enough for Hyland IDP and the intelligence of its LLM brain to classify the documents accordingly. So let's give it a test drive. I'm going to browse to a few files I have stored locally on my machine so we can see how it works. And you'll notice here that these documents don't have any really descriptive names. They're kind of all over the place. Let's bring them in. And here are our documents. We get a preview thanks to these handy and beautiful little thumbnails of our different documents. You'll also notice here that I've got a multi-page doc. This is a single file that actually contains multiple business documents. And I want to go one step further than classification. I actually want to separate this file into individual documents. So I'm going to select to include document separation in my process. Now the documents have entered the system. I'm going to invoke the step of separating and classifying these documents in one fell swoop as a single batch. So let's wait and see. And just like that, our separation and classification are complete. You'll notice that we've got 3 invoices, 2 payslips, a driver's license, some I-9s, and a loan application. Let's start at the top with our invoice. We'll zero in on our thumbs up invoice. I'll zoom in just a little bit here so you can see it better. We could also go full screen if we so desired and get a preview of the OCR that took place behind the scenes for us to extract some of these data values. But let's go back. You'll notice on the right-hand side, Hyland IDP is suggesting metadata fields for this document. So I don't even have to type in invoice number, order number, account number. It is taking a look at this document and using the intelligence of the LLM to determine or suggest what the meaningful metadata fields might be. And here they are. We see invoice number, and notice that as I hover over the field, it actually highlights on the document in green where it's extracting that value and a little bit about it. All of these look good, so I'll go ahead and accept all of these fields. At this point, now that we've told Hyland IDP what fields we'd like to capture, thanks to their handy suggestions, we're extracting the values. So now it's extracting these individual metadata values. And here they are. You'll notice that we have 2 indicators of completeness. The first is the confidence level of the OCR in reading the text correctly. And the second is the confidence level of the system in extracting accurate data. And we'll be able to use both of these downstream and as part of our further IDP process. So this document looks good. I think we're all set. We've done our invoice configuration, and the rest of our invoices will be extracted correctly. The next one I'd like to show you is that of the I-9. I'm not going to extract all of the field values, although it is going to go ahead and suggest them for us. But what I want to show you is that, remember our separation from earlier? It actually grabbed out of that multi-document file each I-9, which in and of itself was multiple pages. And it knew explicitly where to make that break, thanks on its previous knowledge of I-9 forms. The last one I'd like to show you is the loan application. And I could go on and on about all of the different capabilities of extraction here, but I think you get the idea. I'm showing this document in particular because this form is filled out with handprint or handwriting. And I want to showcase how well Hyland IDP can extract handprint text as well as OMR markings like checkboxes and radio buttons. Because if you'll recall earlier, we selected that additional option on this document type. In the same way, we've got our field suggestions, and I'll just grab two of name and social security number. I also want to show you how if we lasso an area of the document, and notice that this has both machine printed text and hand printed text. If I hover over it, we're getting a preview of the OCR that was extracted behind the scenes. We've got our values over here that have been extracted, but I want to go ahead and add just a few more fields. So I'll zoom in on the document just a little bit so that you can see marital status on the left-hand side a bit more clearly. I want to go ahead and capture that. And again, all I'm doing is entering the field name. I'm not giving any other description in terms of field configuration. Yet our IDP tool is smart enough to know that this individual is married because that radio button has been selected. So I'm going to go ahead and add just one more field. And I showcase this next extraction because it invokes a little bit of reasoning, which in my humble opinion levels up the intelligent automation game. So this is going to be our monthly mortgage payment. And I am going to do a little bit of configuration here. I'm going to say, based on this applicant's gross monthly income, what should their monthly mortgage payment be? I'm asking a question. Now, notice that I haven't told it, oh, it should be 30% or 20% or 50%. The LLM has an idea based on its own learning, reasoning, and understanding, its theory of mind, what that monthly mortgage payment should be. And it took a pretty accurate, educated guess. Now, in this case, we haven't given the LLM parameters, but imagine if we use historical data or unique institutional knowledge of an organization to feed this LLM with that type of information or parameters, past decisions that have taken place in our workflow, what we as an organization or institution deem the percentage of gross monthly income the monthly mortgage payment should be. This type of reasoning really elevates IDP for organizations, and Hyland IDP is here to do it. So we're not going to do it all, but we have captured our document types. We have also extracted our fields. Now it's time to build out our capture process. And it's going to be as easy as this. So pay close attention here because this happens in an instant. I'm going to build a process based on a document classification and field extraction IDP template that will help me start building my process and give me the framework so I don't have to start from scratch. And this happens pretty quickly, so pay attention. And just like that, we have built the framework of our capture process. Documents come in, we'll classify them. If they meet our classification variable parameters, such as our confidence levels of OCR and extraction, move it on to field extraction. If not, bring a human in the loop for review. Once we've captured those field values, do the same thing. Do they meet our thresholds, our parameters? If so, move forward in the process. If not, bring a human in the loop. And I want to show you a little bit behind the scenes on this field review step. You notice that there's a person or human avatar there. That's because we expect a person to come in and maybe review the fields. And we know that we need a screen or an interface for them to do that. Again, we've built the shell of that automatically with this particular template. Let's say as part of our last step, we want to take all of the content, all of the values and information that we've just captured and send it into OnBase. Hyland IDP and automates out-of-the-box connectors include everything from Slack to OpenAI to DocuSign integration, Teams, and of course, all of our Hyland repositories like OnBase. Probably the most impactful connector here is that of our REST API, which will allow you to connect this process to any RESTful service. But in this case, I want to bring this new information into my OnBase system, or maybe bring it back in because that's where it originally was captured. Now we just have the insights and the value. It's as simple as adding a step in my process. The differentiator when it comes to Hyland IDP is the completeness of our offering. It's the combination of a native repository with IDP, with Automate, with Forms, all built in. The collection of all the GenAI tools used to build solutions at scale quickly and simply.